you. You can start one. Yeah, you can start, please.
So, good evening, teachers and all my beloved classmates. Today, Group 3, we present you about Unit 8 about nature. And we have 6 members. My name is Harati.
Yeah, you can start right away. Okay.
Slide, teacher.
Yeah.
And so, in this unit, we will learn how to describe nature, raw landscapes, use text to emphasize your opinions, describe different ways of talking, describe animals, their habitats and their habits, and about auxiliaries in the grammar sections and about the vocabulary. We will explain describing scenery, communicating animals, and the reading part we will skip some parts, and we will skip all of the listening part as well. So the first part is vocabulary, describing scenery. Sector A, label the picture with the correct numbers in the box. So before we are going to label the pictures, everyone let's add the keywords in the right side. First, a mountain range is a series of mountains. Number 2, plains is a flat expanse of land. Number 3, a peak is the pointed top of the mountain. Number 4, a crater. Crater is the hollow out area. Number 5, the mouth of the river. It is a part of the river where the river divides it into a larger body of water. Number 6, a glacier. A glacier is a huge mass of ice that moves slowly over lands. Number 7, wetlands. Wetlands is an area of land that is either covered with water or saturated with water. Number 8, a stream. A stream is a body of running water. And number 9, the cliff. Cliff is a steep rock face at the edge of the sea. Number 10, a bay. A bay is broad inlet of the sea where land curves inwards. And number 11, a gorge. A gorge is a narrow valley between hills or mountains. And the last one is woodlands. Woodland is a land where covered by trees. Excuse me, teacher. My slide is an action slide, so would you please click to the next?
Okay, those are the answer already, right? Yeah.
Wait, teacher. I want you to click one by one.
Okay. Okay, I think you can start now. No need to. Yeah, please. So okay,
Wait
you can explain.
The last slide.
Yeah. The next slide, last slide here. Yeah. This one.
Okay. So let's take a look.
It seems your internet connection not really stable.
The left side of the picture, we see so after we. Hello, teacher. Do you hear me?
Yeah, please.
Oh, internet kencang.
Hello. Yeah, keep maintain your internet connections. Hello.
Hello, teacher.
Yeah.
Maybe my internet connection. Now, everyone, do you hear me?
Yes. I hear you. Okay, I think let's present her, please. Don't wait for her. Please.
After we label the picture, so now let's take a look at the Saturn B work in pair design if both or only one
Đại internet.
It's a beautiful area, rolling hills, winding stream, and thick, dense woodland. Hello? Okay, I think let's move to the next presenter, please. Maybe her internet cannot stay still to deliver smoothly, but I suggest to the next presenter, please, everyone, please.
Coming to my part that talk about developing conversation. That we talking about empathic text. We all know that empathic text. That the keyword empathic mean that a strong and determined in speech or action. So that what is that or them get to get more attention. We often add text to emphasize our opinion. We usually begin with a pronoun plus really, and we then repeat the auxiliary is there is one or add to a dash this is the action. Let's see the example here. How was your holiday? Did you have a good time? B, yes, it was amazing. It really was. So it really was. It's called empathic text that we use it to emphasize our opinion that it was amazing. Let's see the exercise. I will correct for you. Teacher, next slide, please. The exercise A add empathic text to the sentence below. So I will correct it for you. The number one, I would then write it is I were you. I really want it. Number two, the view were just stunning. They really were. Number three, the scenery takes your breath away. It really does. Number four, I just love it there. I really do love it. And number five, it makes no difference whatsoever. It really did. And number six, he will really change here and the empathic text. He really never will really would. And number seven, I have never anywhere like it. I really never have really haven't. And the last is that sound amazing. It really does. So that's all of my point. And let's move to the next presenter, please.
Hello, who is the next presenter, please? So now you the next presenter or who?
No, teacher, is respond by Sister Kanya, all Kanya.
Kenya, are you here?
Yes, teacher, I'm here.
ชมหมุนงอนี่ so are you ready for that
For my part auxiliary verb, we use auxiliary to make question text. We add question text to statement to get a response.
can you turn on your camera
Teacher.
yeah please go ahead
Yeah. For my part auxiliary, we use auxiliary to make question text. We add question text to statement to get responses, to check things, and to make polite requests. For positive sentence, use negative text. Example is very industrial there, isn't it? With negative statement, use a positive text. The heat won't be so strenuous, will it? And for positive text are commonly used to make polite requests. You couldn't lend me your phone for a minute, could you? And to express surprise or anger, we can use a positive text with a positive sentence. Example, you can speak Thai, can you? How did you learn that? Oh, you have got a son, how you? Why didn't I know that? You want to borrow some money, do you? You haven't paid me back from last time yet. And avoiding repetition. Auxiliary help us to avoid repeating verb already used. Example, I never read it, but I think my sister has. Next point, we sometimes need to change tense, but we still only use the auxiliary if it avoid repeating the same verb. A, I'm not coming tomorrow. B, aren't you? I thought you were. A, yeah, I thought I thought I might, but I have got to work. For embarrassing, auxiliary can add emphasis. In speech, we usually stress in auxiliary. If there are no auxiliary, add do, does, or did. Yeah, and sorry again. Embarrassing auxiliary can add emphasis. In speech, we usually stress the auxiliary. If there are no auxiliary, add do, does, or did. I have been there. I just can't remember much about it. I do love the scenery here. We use auxiliary like this to introduce contrasting idea. I do like a landscape. It's just that a bit barren. Yes, and about next point, showing interest or responding. Use auxiliary to respond to people and to show interest. Example A, I spent a month in Mongolia. B, did you? I did, that was interesting. A, I speak pretty good Arabic. B, do you? Where did you pick up that? And the last point, showing agreement. Use auxiliary to show agreement with someone. A, I can't stand those kind of books. B, no, neither can I. A, I would love to see a bit more of the rainforest there.
B. Oh, so would I. The teacher for the exercise next slide.
Okay. Yeah, you can read the answers here.
Yes. For the exercise, A. Complete the question by adding the correct auxiliary. You will need to use negative. Number 1A. It's common knowledge that men and women do things differently, isn't it? Yeah. B. Women are better communicator, aren't they? Number 2. It's easy to assume this book must be based on valid scientific research, but in reality, very few are. B. Both sexes tend to talk equally as much and use as many words per day while doing so. Number 3A. While some men do interact far more than the vast majority of women, this is atypical. B. That guys certainly does like to talk. Number 4A.
Để một hồi tiếp đấy,
And-
nó giật slot á, mình lấy ọt tới. Mình cười cái các bạn đại tuần trường này.
Number 4A and half A and B. You will find the research back me up on this. B. That's it. Okay, I will have to read more about it then. For next B. A. It was awful. She just kept interrupting me. B. Did she? That's so rude. Number 5 and the last A and half A. I wish he get to the point. B. So did I. This is talking forever.
Okay. I think that's all for that. Okay, let's move to the other part, communicating.
Yeah, teacher, for my part, that's all.
Okay, that's all. Đó là some lệnh rồi mà.
Thank you, teacher.
Yeah. Chắc chưa sao bao cho mọi người cái đá không có được ấy.
តែទីឆាខ្ញុំចាក់វ៉ាក់សាំងលើកទី2ហើយប៉ុន្តែអត់ដឹងមិន
អត់អីវានៅអត់អីអីដល់ទៅស្មាវ៉ាក់សាំងកំពុងធ្វើការណា Yeah. Relax អូខេ relax យ៉ាអូខេយើងខ្សោយអញ្ចឹងឯងសុខភាពយើងអត់ទុកមកបានខ្ញុំទូចតែខ្ញុំអត់អីមិនមានបានហើយមិនដូចផាណែតទេខ្ញុំឲ្យមានធំចាក់វ៉ាក់សាំងឲ្យដេកគ្រូអូខេ next presenter yeah please លើកតដៃអញ្ចឹងតែដួលបាត់ហើយ
Excuse me, talking very well.
Not really well.
So continue from the previous point.
Okay.
Let's look at the book on page 57. But first of all, I would like to pay my respect to teacher, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. My name is Madiniet. I'm a member from Group 3 also. And let's take a look on page 57 on your book about the exercise A, vocabulary about communicating. So in here, complete the sentence with the pair of words in the box. So in here we have 8 words like articulate and others words. But before going into the answer, before we discuss about the answer, I would like to show you about the man's vocabulary that I got from the keywords book. So can you click? So this all here are about the keywords that I got from the book. There are 3. The first one is articulate, mean that someone who is articulate can use language well to express their idea and feeling. And the next one, blunt, mean that someone who is blunt gives their opinion openly and honestly. This might upset upset the other people. And the last word is butt in. Butt in it means that if you butt in, you interrupt a conversation rudely. So, since we have a short time, so I will give you the answer and don't forget to do the exercise together. So, number one, he's a terrible and he's always spreading about everyone in the office. So, in here we use he's a terrible gossip and he always spreading
Sorry.
rumors about everyone in the office. So this is the answer of number one. Let's move to the number two. He's never less than 100% honest. He certainly doesn't
Sorry. Means.
doesn't mean his word. He can be very blunt sometimes. And number three, once he start talking, he never shut up. No one else can get a word in each way. And number four, he always twisting what I say and trying to put words into my mouth. And number five, he's got no manners. He's always butting in others' people conversation. And number six, he's a great listener. Always go to if you need a shoulder to cry on. And number 10, he's not very articulate. I mean, he seems to find it quite a struggle to express himself. And number 8, also the last point is about I wish he would stop beating around the bush and get to the point. This is taking forever. So everyone, these are here are about the answer of the vocabulary on page 57. Thank you for your attention and let's move to the next presenter.
Thank you.
Yes, good evening, teachers and everyone. My name is Peng Samnang. I'm continue the part reading. And the first one, before we go to the reading, I want you to think about the question: do you ever watch natural histories program on TV? Why or why not? And you can answer this question by yourself. And for my answer is yes, I ever watched it since I was young, but I'm not interested in. I just watch some episodes that can attract. Next slide. For this, this is the opinion piece that talk about the natural history program. And while we are reading this, I want you to consider that we need to find the reason. That's why the writer writes about the reason why he loved the natural history program, or why they make the natural history program. So now we go to read this piece of reading and we scan the answer. We find the reasons. I absolutely endorse natural history programs, watching them for the comforts of my.
This is a summary of that, Samnang.
Yes,
Could
okay.
you talk quickly about that, yeah?
And now you can scan the answer for the reasons, and you can look to the first paragraph that he said that when he watched it, they make me marvels at the ingenuities of the humanities. It is a reason that why he watched the natural history program. And the next reason is that when he watched it, it's make him more feel humble. And the last it is in the last paragraph. And the next reason is when he watched the natural history programs, it's like the watch 6 film roles into one film. And the next reason is that we sum up the last paragraphs that the lives of animal is the same as the human because we are in the natural. Next slide. Next. And the part C, we discuss the following. We discuss some questions. The first one thinks of an example for the natural history words for each of the 6 types of film that the writer mentioned. How far do you agree with the last paragraph of the article? Why did you think of the article in general? Is it expressed silly, funny, or what? Next slide. And this the answer for the first question that I pick it up from our readings, and the blue in the box are the types of film. There are 6. There are thriller, tragedies, comedies, custom dramas, feels good movies, and 18 certificate film. And all these film is the example from the natural history works that we pick up. We also pick up from our readings, and we think it to compare it with a film. Thrillers, it can be hunting their prey and defending themselves against a predator. A tragedy film, it can be dying. A comedy film, it can be putting on display to attract the partner. A custom drama, it can be for ratings, for books, intrigues, and trap. A feels good movie, it can be giving birth and rallying their youngs. And 18 certificate film, it can be matching. For all this answer, it can be different. Is you think your opinion is better, you can follow your own thinking. So can you go back to the reading?
Okay, please make a bit faster since you have 9 minutes left.
Yes. Now we go back to this reading and consider the question tools. How far do you agree with the last paragraph of article? The last paragraph of article that he sums up that the life of human is still similar to the animal, because the humans are born, eat, reproduce, and die. But we just quite more modern than the animal that we have the education, and we have the technology, and we are need to live and work hard to feed our families. But the animal is not. They are just from one generation to another generation. They just born and learn how to find food, and then they reproduce, and then they die. And it does all the generation. They don't have to develop their lives or their jungle. And the last question is talk about what did you think the article in general, it is expressing silly facts or what? I think this article is just the opinion that it is interesting, that because we are all agree that all the reason that is mentioned are true. That's because watching natural history program, it can be make us feel humble, that we can see that the lives of animal in the jungle is the same as the lives of our human, and it makes us more broad knowledge about it. Next slide. Next. Yes. We go to part D, and part D is we find we shoot the small words in the paragraph. So now you can see the words in the paragraph that in your textbook, and we have the words predator, prey, mates, foragings, food chance, blocks, herds, and areas. And I just translate some of this word for you, and you can do this exercise for yourself. predator, it means that the animal that's
Okay.
carnivorous.
Then I think you can give the floor to your next presenter, please. Since
Yes,
we still have 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yes,
Because the
next
answer
presenter,
is
please.
already. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, this is my part for the present the vocabulary of animal. And you all see the picture at the right. We see the animal like the camel, a bird, a fish, or anything else. And we see the keyword in the box. And I will explain you about the keyword and put the words at the picture for the easy for you to understand. The first word is a hoof. A teacher click on the screen. A host, legs, nostril, horn, a toe, a scale, fur, a claw, teeth, humps, a tail, feelers, a back, a wing, and a breast. And you see the words is on the picture that easy to understand. And the next section is matching the words. And we have 10 and 10 to matching. And I will create for you. The first one, the number one is to the letter E. It's build a nest. And number two, to letter G, it can send the slightest movement. And number three, to letter A, it sticks through the bark. And number four, to letter S, it blend into the background. And number five, to letter I, it can extend reaching temperature. And number six, to letter J, it gnaw down into the earth. And number seven, to the letter D, it pulls up its chest. And number eight, to letter eight, it lift out and snakes its prey. And number 10, to letter C, it store reserve of fat. And the last one is number 10 to the letter B. It's let out the high pitched quill. And now this is all my presentation about this part. And also, thank you for listening. That's all.
Thank you so much. Okay, for sharing this unit. Okay. Well, yeah. When we talk about natures, a lot of people like natures, but some people try to destroy the natures. It automatically affect our life. Because nature is one part of human being we cannot ignore in the world. Some country try to preserve, the rainforest in order to keep our country be safe from the storm, like Laos. Laos is one of the country that can prevent or preserve a very big rainforest in Southeast Asia. Yeah, compared to the other country in Southeast Asia, they're totally different. In another country, they do not cut the tree or the luxurious timber for selling, for export, for sending to other country in the world, but they're gonna grow the tree. Like Indonesia, as I'm not sure, but maybe Indonesia or Malaysia, they keep growing the timbers, and this timber is for trading. It's just not for anything, but the purpose of growing the timber is to do the trading. But in Cambodia, it's totally different. When I arrived to Gurirum, I feel that Gurirum it should be a good place for growing that kind of tree, at Gurirum mountain range, for example. It's very interesting because that area people can invest, can invest money, put more money to grow that kind of timbers. But we don't have that kind of idea of investment. Even one big company try to withdraw from Cambodia because of the bankruptcies of the company. They cannot extract more oil from our country. So that energy company withdraw already. Yeah. Okay. So this is another problem that we need to find another company to do that. Yeah. ចាហ្នឹងយើងមិនដឹងថាមិនទៀតទេប្រេងដំបូងដំណក់ដំបូងបាទដំណក់ដំបូងហ្នឹងប៉ុន្តែឥឡូវក្រុមហ៊ុននឹងផ្សាយធនហើយក៏ប្រកាសលាលែងដែរនឹងជាបញ្ហាយ៉ាអញ្ចឹងគេប្រឹកមិញអីទេថ្ងៃពុធយកព្រឹកថ្ងៃពុធទៅយកទៅដាក់នៅស្អីមានឆ្នេះដំណក់ប្រេងដំបូង ប្រេងដំបូងនោះវាមិនអាច compensate cannot compensate to the business at all and they cannot keep borrowing the money to run this ពីព្រោះប្រហែលជាប្រេងហ្នឹងវាអត់គ្រប់គ្រាន់នឹងវាមានសមត្ថតុលមានថាអាចលុយយកទៅវិនិយោគហ្នឹងវាអត់ស៊ីគ្នាវាអត់ស្មើភាពអញ្ចឹងប្រេងហ្នឹងមិនអាចគ្រប់គ្រាន់នឹងការដែលចំណេញយើងក្រុមហ៊ុនស្អី Sing Energy ដកទុនចេញចាស់ទៅដកទុនចេញនៅយុរ៉ុបហើយជាទូទៅស្រុកខ្មែរយើងមិនសូវមានអ្នកគិតរឿងដើមឈើឬដើមស្រល់អីនៅខាងកូរ៉េរួមនៅខាងមណ្ឌលកូរ៉េដើមស្រល់បាននៅស្រុកនូហ្សេឡង់គេដាំស្រល់ហើយនៅប្រទេសមួយទៀតដែលនៅក្នុងអាស៊ីគ្នាយើងខ្ញុំអានជួបដែរគេដើមឈើយកទៅលក់ហ្នឹងគេអត់មិនមែនដើមឈើដែលគេកាប់មកពីធម្មជាតិយ៉ាងគេវិនិយោគទៅលើអញ្ចឹងវិញអានឹងភាពចំណេញភាពឆ្លាតរបស់គេទៅលើហ្នឹង Okay so thank you for the presenters and thank you for the listeners today we have only 3 groups so next week we're gonna have group 4 5 6 7 prepare for 7 okay even 7s so I hope that you're gonna prepare and then we gonna have enough time for presentation okay thank you so much everyone yeah thank you so much see you
very good night
Goodbye, teacher.
Goodbye, teacher.
Goodbye, teacher. Yeah,
Goodbye,
bye-bye.
teacher.
Enjoy your supper. Bạn này đi kia, không chăm nhau qua bấy thì.
goodbye teacher